Hi, it's Chris Ripley, your teacher, and I wanted to take a minute and talk about the writing assignments because we're in an important period, and I need to take a little step back and look at week 4 as well. Many of you are probably wrapping up your writing assignment. This is 1:30 on Saturday, or coming up on wrapping it up, and I wanted to go back and discuss the week 4 one real quickly because many of you had some issues there, and I wanted to make sure that everybody understood what the expectation was. I think part of the issue, very honestly, is that people aren't reading all of the directions. Because there were important directions in here on things that you had to include in your paper, and some people didn't include them. And now that same information needs to go into week 5, and you risk being in a snowball situation because you didn't do it right in week 4. So please read all of these directions. I'm not going to sit here and read them to you. This is an important statement right here. Think outside the box on this. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Think outside the box. And you need to be a little bit creative on this. There was one student who got very creative on it, and it took me a minute to adjust my perspective, but once I did, it was a great paper. So there are some things that you needed to take out of week 4 that people just completely missed. And just a few comments on it in general. Here you need to read through each one of these instructions and make sure that you have the things. Darn it, I got to be really careful about not touching it. It wants to edit. So here we go. So, you had to think about segmentation, and what we're trying to look for here is an opportunity. We're trying for you to find a segment of the market that we can expand on or that we can grow. And everybody should have created and should have included in their paper the name of their target market. Name your target market so you can use this through all of your writing assignments. Now, I'm going to have to just use this, I think. I wonder if I could make this big enough to use. I guess I could look at it in student mode, too. That would be the other way to do it. But here we go. Again, we try to get there. But you should have come in and had a name. And if you read here, savvy young shoppers or educated baby boomers, and put it in quotes so I can find it. One of the most important things about doing papers like this is making it as easy for me as possible to find your answers. So those of you who choose not to number the answers and maybe not to put one segmentation and then put your answer right after that, make it harder to grade your paper, and it's not going to help you in getting a better grade. I have to work harder. Hopefully I get everything right. But when you put it right in front of me where it's easy for me to see and you answer the questions just as they're written here in the assignment, it makes it very easy and you get a very good grade because you're doing what the assignment asks. So those of you who didn't come up with your target market, segment of the whole market for your product. Okay, and you have to go back and you need to look at segmentation and understand the demographics, psychographics, behavioral, that type of thing, and pick a segment. And then you've got to name that segment. So the goal is for your faculty member to get a mental image of your target market for the remainder of the semester. Lots of you don't have that. You need to have that. And I hope I'm not going on too long, but this is really important. Target market strategy. You've got to be able to focus, decide whether you want to focus your resources all there or just partially. And that's a pretty easy thing to do. And then you've got to draw your perceptual map and make a lot of assumptions here. That's fine. That's why creativity is good, as long as you can justify it within the tools that we're using, within the things that we have available for us for marketing and for establishing positioning and all. And a lot of people miss this. Let's see here. Describe what your perpetual map is telling you regarding how each product is perceived in the mind of your new target audience. So if you're doing Oreos, what's going to be your new target market? Somebody did a great job and came up with calling them your study pal, and that her target market was going to be college students in a particular age group, and you've got to be more specific than just college students. But, you need to do a little bit of explaining here. So it's important that you go back, and if you got a poor grade on your week 4 assignment, that you review this, because you need to have your target market, and you need to have what that market looks like and be able to describe it. This is a great project, but it's continual from week to week, and it's going to snowball, and the snowball is going to run over you if you don't do a good job with it. So here we go on that. That's the week 4, and let me run over to the week 5, and here we're just continuing on the same thing. You've got to read the whole assignment and understand what you're trying to do. It's not just a matter of going in and answering these questions. This is a little bit of conceptual stuff, and this is more long-term, and this might not be something that you've had to do academically in the past, but you've got to get into this mindset now, and you've got to read the assignment. And I wonder what percentage of students actually read the text, but you've got to do that as well, and go over the PowerPoints. But make sure you read this whole thing, and make sure that you're in the right frame of mind to do this work. I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much. Hope everybody got something out of this.